Greetings, everyone. This is Mike Wright, the Astro Sherpa, dropping in with a spatial report. Oh my goodness, this one comes with homework too, so don't be scared of that, because this stuff takes a lot of work. That's what staying on the path is. Working hard to understand your place in time and space. So I have some super special gifts to share with you. So if you're excited, keep the dial tuned in. I know the outer world wants to grab your attention because they've tuned your attention span to microseconds. So the ego mind is constantly seeking this, desire for the outer stimuluses. Guess what? That's draining you. That's why you're exhausted all the time. So I'm gonna show you how to power the body, how to understand the pattern of growth in the physical earth and your physical self, so you can supercharge that. You have superpowers now. What's that mean? Super fluid. That means you can change in an instant. Yes, by focusing your will, which is the heart, represented by the solar principle. So the sun in Cancer at 19 degrees is wrapping up this middle decan. Decan was a guide. This is centering the change from the first half of Cancer into the second half of Cancer. And we do this through what we love, what we want to share with others. When we're emotionally secure, then we can sing, we can stand on the stage, we can get up there and tell jokes or look like a fool. Leo is the expression, the solar expression of your heart. So we're not here to show up from, a certain time period to a certain time period, clocking in, clocking out, feeding the body with junk, artificial crap. So this is time to tune back into Earth, Taurus, the body, your essential nature. Taurus represents the throat, connecting air and water and food down into your power source. So we're gonna see some really special things. So I'm gonna show you the middle path. The mountain is clear today, and you're gonna see the signs. I'm gonna take you out in the universe and show you. So we're going from a couple dimensions here, so hold on. Keep your awareness tuned in. So the power of your attention and resonating with the energy present. So we're going to look at relationships of circles and lines and how these things connect. So the power of the line is to extend up or down. So that's dimensional hopping. The circle is the revolution, and everything that generates power has to revolve. So think about a turning. When something turns, it generates friction and sound and heat. So the sun is, this big ball of heat, and its energy creates these magnetic waves. And when the sun rises in the east, that creates this spinning energy on our Earth's magnetic field. So that creates this whirling motion we all know as day and night. So that's why it's separated in half. So that's a relationship. So I'm going to show you the secret of how you correlate the earth power into your solar plexus. So this is your energy center where you take in matter, and that matter is broken down into its essences that nourishes and charges your physical form. And then whatever's left over is, expelled. So this is old understandings that have been, shaped in symbols of various sorts. So don't get caught up on, blocks. Just understand your homework is actually to go out and look at a flower today and think about that flower coming from a seed. So a little seed is a hard shell that contains the whole principle of life inside of it and the memory of that life, its design principle. So that seed has to rotate out of its resting state, and that takes, this changing state is pressure, and then dark, cold, hard, which cracks it open, and then moisture gets in there and expands the potential. So once this expansion starts with water, then light and air now start to reach these dark places, and then a line starts to form. So that's the stem or stalk. And you see this throughout all of nature, through trees, down to the little mushroom. So when we understand the connective principles and we can apply that with our own self and our energy centers, look at the body. You're made in the shape of a 5-pointed star. So think about that configuration and shape, and where your hands and feet are. The feet are connected to the earth. So that's where we ground in these higher, you can think of your hands as the branches that reach out and gather energy or send it out. Because a tree takes in carbon dioxide and then expels fresh oxygen. So the whole process is breathing in and breathing out. So we're going to show you a phase, a special phase of the moon right here. And this moon is sandwiched in between Jupiter and Uranus. So this is just past this midpoint of how we integrate an abundance of new knowledge, new higher understanding, and the things that came before that are noble and endure throughout all time, but they get hidden or dusted up or buried, in sand over time or thrown into the sea. So all knowledge and information, anything you can want or ask for, is out there right now. So Uranus is the higher genius part of your mental thinking that connects the lower mind, which is your subconscious patterning, daily processes, to your spiritual self, the part that resides outside of your physical form. So this is the dream state you. So some people call that an avatar, or your astral body, and these things exist. So science has shown this through energy fields. So one of the oldest drawings literally shows the expansion of a seed into a flower. And this is basically the drawing I'm getting ready to show you. We're going to take you outside and show you the relationship to what you're seeing on paper out into reality. So this is like spatial, recognition. So big gifts of understanding and awakening. So the path is growing upright, or sometimes we have to drop down into our root structure, into the dark soil, and see what's gnawing at our roots. Sometimes there's grubs and worms and old, dirty soil or toxic water, coming into our own little patch of earth, and that's poisoning us. And then that draws the serpents and the spiders and all these creatures that are of death and destruction, that do their job of recycling and tearing everything down. The earth is one big pattern machine of building and tearing down constantly. So by channeling the flow of energy and harnessing it and controlling it, you can harness and elevate yourself to higher planes of understanding. So you've been patient, so let's show you this drawing. And this is the first opening phase of a seed. So if you look at that circle, the ancients called that the root chakra, and the color red. So that was the male principle root base of energy bursting open. So think of those 4 petals as like, a popcorn kernel that has been microwaved, and you can still see part of that seed. So that is the base circle of power right in between where your legs split. So that energy, if you see the triangle in the middle there, that's the separation of one single flow of energy down into 2 separate parts. So, and this is where memory, the elephant, is stored. Elephants have long memories, so they showed the representation of your memories are stored in your root chakras, where you come from, the seed state. So the next state, when you elevate out of that one, is we go up where the flower starts extending and gathers more leaves so it can grow. That's the principle of 2, or the feminine moon nurturing. So there's 6 petals there. And this is where we can grow and start to see reflections of where we came from. And then the next principle is the solar plexus, or the liver, or the garden. This is where all energy is exchanged. So that's the solar plexus. This is where we conquer and consume, and then power is distributed. So this is marrying these 2 principles is how you go up, ascend, and then that's the lower 3 points in this triangle. So you can build the foundation to go to the next 3. So that is the seed state opening up. You recognize reflections through the mother, and then the father principle, or light. So light comes in the eyes, water through the breath, in the nostrils and mouth, and then we put earth, which comes in and then goes out. So that's back to ground. So that's the foundation principle of 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to show you this moon in its dying crescent phase, right in between Jupiter and Uranus. We can't see Uranus in the sky. Saturn's right on the midheaven, so the devil's right there checking out if what you're receiving is true or false. So that takes discernment. You have to discern and weigh and balance between the objective and subjective now, because some answers are found in the fog. So we find these higher principles in emanations and mirrors, reflections. That's why they looked at these seed states. That's why we use circles and understanding, self-awareness, identities, how we integrate. So let's go out here and see this crazy, wild, amazing relationship of these planets. To think about this moon, this and its alignment right on these planes. It's wild. So we're seeing and feeling this deep, deep, bigger understanding of relationships. So that is Jupiter in this waning crescent moon. So that is a harvesting of seeds. So right now you're seeing this last little bit of intense crisis phase as the seeds you planted almost 4 weeks ago. What you planted is now coming to a completion or the next level. So Jupiter right there is higher principles, higher understanding, expansion. So this is expanding power and understanding of communications. So today's a big day. The moon right there, its nodes of destiny have switched into Aries, North Node, Libra, South Node. So we're leaving this heavy focus on communications and the structure and flow of air and power. So tune in, tune up, connect the left and right. You can go right up the center. Look at nature and the beautiful patterns it contains and mirror that. Fresh water in the body, fresh air, fresh vibrations around you. So get rid of the stale and stagnant, or your seed state will rot and you'll have to do it over again. Get back in the loop and wait till the circumstances might be good. So wake up, look at this. Look at the relationships in your life. So if you're still attracting the dark and ugly, get rid of that shit now. Otherwise, you're gonna build up a tower that's gonna blow up. So you don't wanna do that right when you're gonna be the belle of the ball. So any way you go, I hope you're well. Astro Sherpa out.